Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to jump into the weekly loot cave for the week of December the 17th all the way until December the 23rd. We're a little late to this one, but this is the series where I bring you the most efficient for farms for some of the most notable reactors dropping each week in the first Descendant. This is a weekly series. Definitely like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch, guys. We are live daily over there. Would love to see you guys there. Join the Discord down below in the description and we will jump right into the video. All right, so we're going to kick it off pretty quick this time. I do want to say the reason I haven't uploaded the weekly loot cave for the past couple weeks is due to them obviously announcing they are going to be changing how reactors work, and now with the changes to reactors, the RNG has been lessened a little bit as far as getting a good rolled reactor. So now I think it's actually worth it to go ahead and farm reactors. So we're back to making the weekly loot cave. I normally will make these every Tuesday at the start of the week. I'll try to make them as quickly as I can. However, this time I'm getting to it a little bit late. I do apologize, but I wanted to at least make one for this week after the update that took place yesterday. But with that preface out of the way, let's jump into the reactors. All right, so starting off with number one, probably the most popular reactor spot, best reactor spot in the game, we're going to be looking at Rockfall. This is going to be, mission of choice here is going to be Anticipated Ambush Point, and this is dropping an electric and fusion reactor. So this is going to be the reactor for Sharen. Now, this is the best mission in the game as far as reactors. You're going to get the most you can get out of anywhere. It's about a 30-second mission. We all know about it. It's very, very solid. As far as the roles for Sharen, it's really going to be two different ones, one for mobbing, one for bossing. Really depends on which build you're running. An all-rounder, you're going to want to get a fusion boost and critical hit damage for Sharen, all as far as mobbing. And then as far as bossing, Colossus damage and fusion boost, or Colossus damage and critical hit damage will be the best as far as going to go to. And then as far as what I'm going to go for my build, this is going to be for the release cutting force. Basically just fusion boost and critical hit damage. I think that's going to be the best way to go. You could also, critical hit damage, critical hit rate. It's pretty solid. You don't get quite 100% critical hit rate when you're not running the ambush build. So yeah, solid all around. Solid week for Sharen, and it's obviously great that it is Sharen because Sharen just released, and we're having some fun with her. So good week for Sharen, Ultimate Sharen. Next up is going to be the non-attribute and tech reactor. This is dropping from the repository. This is going to be for, Ajax, Kyle, Luna even. Now, this is a Valby outpost farm for the mission of choice. So with this specific reactor, this is going to be for some descendants that really only Kyle can notably kill bosses very quickly. So I'm only going to be talking about bossing reactors for him. However, for Ajax, as far as roles for Ajax, I always go with cooldown and tech boost for him. And honestly, as far as Kyle mobbing as well, cooldown and tech boost is a really good choice as well for Kyle, so I recommend that. You can also go non-attribute boost and tech boost. Those are really good options. And then as far as the bossing for Kyle, you're going to want to go for tech boost and Colossus damage. If you want to get bosses down with Kyle very quickly, really good week because it is a Valby Outpost farm. You get a lot of reactors from Valby Outpost farm, as we all know. And it is a very good week for Kyle, Ajax, and Luna here at Repository. And the next reactor we're going to talk about is for Hailey. It's going to be a chill singular reactor. This is available from the storage in Agna Desert. Now, this is going to be an extermination mission, so it's not a Valby Outpost farm. It's not Rockfall. It's not Anticipated Ambush Point. However, it is a pretty solid one. It's a good extermination mission. They spawn very quickly. You get a lot of drops. It's not the best in the world, so if you wanted to skip this week for Hailey and you wanted to wait for like a Valby Outpost farm, you totally are free to do so. But I wanted to make sure to mention it because it is a Hailey reactor, and Hailey is very popular right now, obviously with the release of Infernal Walker. So yeah, the storage extermination mission. As far as roles, you're going to want to make sure to get singular boost and Colossus damage for fighting Colossus. You could also get crit damage and Colossus damage for fighting Colossus. And then as far as mobbing with Hailey, not really particularly fond of mobbing with Hailey, so I don't recommend any. Honestly, that's my recommendation, is nothing for Hailey because she is just not a good mobber. If you wanted to go for her like gun build, you can get a skill cost reduction mixed with cooldown on her gun build. That way you can spam your first ability a bit more and make sure that you have that skill cost reduction on her third ability. But other than that, it's definitely a good for bossing for Hailey this week. And it's not like an amazing week for Hailey, but it's a solid week nonetheless. So there's Hailey at storage. And then next reactor on the list is going to be for Yujin. This is a non-attributes and fusion reactor dropping from Mirage Stone and Agnet Desert. This is going to be an outpost farm for Valby, so obviously a really, really solid week for Yujin. As far as roles, you're mainly looking for an assault rifle mounted for Divine Punishment, and you want to get cooldown and duration on Yujin. This is pretty much the only one that I know to go for. Obviously, it being a Valby outpost farm, you're going to get a ton of reactors. Mirage Stone is and can be kind of frustrating because the boss can be killed pretty easily. However, they have fixed the way that the boss's path inside of these outposts, so you should not have to worry about it too much with Valby. I would just make sure to turn down your range a little bit on this one for when you're using Valby. That way you don't accidentally kill the boss too much. But yeah, Mirage Stone, solid farm for Yujin this week. And Yujin, I think, will get a little bit more popular when we see the introduction of the Horde mode or the Void Erosion mission come January. So I think it's not a bad farm at all this week. All right, and then as far as reactor for Keelan this week, this is going to be one dropping from Moongrave Basin. This is going to be for Keelan's Toxic Singular, so it's going to be for his second ability and third ability. This is not for his first and fourth ability. This is if you want to dash a lot with Keelan. Super good mission located in Moongrave Basin. Here on screen, you can see it. One of my favorites, honestly. It is a little bit of a weird one where you're going to have to start the mission, kind of run away for a minute, allow the mobs to get onto the point, and start progressing the bar and kind of keep them there so you can go back and forth, and this is like 5 minutes of just running back and forth. You're going to get a ton of Kuiper, a ton of gold, and most importantly, a ton of reactors. As far as roles for Keelan, I have settled on cooldown and range personally for my build with Keelan. However, you can go Toxic Boost and Singular Boost if you want. You can also go cooldown and Singular Boost. I think that's a really good option. All those are going to be totally fine with Keelan, and this is a really, really good week for Keelan. So if you're looking to get one for Keelan, which by the way, he's really fun. I released the build video on him just yesterday. Definitely check it out. I would definitely recommend doing this week for Keelan. Solid week. Amazing for Keelan. And then jumping over to a chill tech reactor available from Shipment Base in White Knight Gulch. This is going to be for Viessa. This is specifically going to be for the Viessa's Cold-Blooded build with her Blizzard, her fourth ability being focused on as far as damage. So Shipment Base, obviously the mission on screen. This mission is very good as far as reactors. You can actually get Freyna going here and get some insane drops over the 3 minutes because they'll just keep spawning, and Freyna is way better at farming this than Bunny now, obviously. I do have Bunny gameplay here, but you can do either Freyna or Bunny. As far as the roles for Viessa, this is going to be more of like a bossing and mobbing setup. So for the cold-blooded build for mobbing, you can go with duration and cooldown to get as much of the Blizzard, or you could go with one or the other. So like tech boost and duration, or tech boost and cooldown should give you enough ticks of the Blizzard, I believe, so that it's maxed out. And then as far as bossing, you're going to want to go for the tech boost and Colossus, or if you're running a little bit more of a crit focus build, you can do crit damage and Colossus with this setup. However, I would probably go with tech boost and Colossus, and then a tech boost as well as a cooldown for this specifically for the cold-blooded build, just because it makes it way more spammy and much more enjoyable for sure. And you get a lot of ticks in with your fourth ability there with Viessa. But a solid week. Shipment Base, obviously one of the best missions in the game. So very solid week for Viessa with her cold-blooded build there. And jumping over to a non-attribute and dimension reactor for Gley, Valby, Jayber, kind of a bunch of different ones covered here. This is going to be available from Defense Line and Fortress, another Valley Outpost farm. There's a bunch of different roles you could go for here, guys. I do want to talk about a couple important ones, I think. So obviously for Gley, if you're looking to do a bursty massacre build with Gley, you can do Dimension Boost as well as Colossus damage. As far as Valby, really up to you. Non-attribute and Dimension Boost are a solid way to go with Valby. I think you boost your damage quite substantially, having this extra little bit of damage there. And then you can also go with Colossus damage and Dimension Boost for Valby if you're looking to do bossing with her. She is pretty good as of late. And as far as Jayber, really up to you. Kind of play around with it. Jayber's going to probably get some more changes before we see him actually shine a little bit. So yeah, for Jayber, not really going to recommend anything, but you can definitely go for obviously cooldown duration. That never hurts at all. I think cooldown duration is fantastic. Cooldown's always good to have. Yeah, solid week though. I will say I am looking to get one for my Gley here, and I have been trying to. So yeah, solid week for Gley, Jayber, and Valby here at the Valby Outpost Farm in Defense Line and Fortress. All right, I want to do some honorable mentions here. So starting with the first honorable mention, this is going to be Lepic's reactor available from Grand Square in Kingston. Now, Grand Square obviously does not have the best missions in the entire game. So, it's decent. It's not the best. That's why it's an honorable mention. It's going to be the Kingston Surveillance Radar. And obviously with Lepic, you're going for crit damage, Colossus damage, tech boost, Colossus damage, or you can go for the cooldown and tech boost route for mobbing. This is good for Esiemo as well. If you want to get tech boost and cooldown with Esiemo, you don't really need cooldown actually. Sorry, with Esiemo, it's going to be tech boost and fire boost, or you could get tech boost and Colossus damage if you want to do some bossing with Esiemo. But yeah, that's an honorable mention there for Lepic and Esiemo. We'll jump over to the second honorable mention and the last honorable mention for this week here. And that is going to be for Bunny. So Bunny has typically her static reactor. If you guys don't know, there's like guaranteed reactor drops now that always drop from the same missions. Some are good, some are bad. Bunny's is available from Rockfall permanently, which means it's matching this week's Sharen reactor farm over an anticipated ambush point. However, there is a solid farm for Bunny in the White Knight Gulch this week in Mountaintops. If you did want to do the Blue Brain mission, it's not the best way to get Blue Brains anymore, but it is a very solid mission in Borderline of Truth if you want to get a Bunny reactor and farm your Blue Brains at the same time. If you don't have a Bunny reactor, it's a solid one there. Wanted to make sure to mention it in the honorable mention. But other than that, guys, that has been the Weekly Loot Cave. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you think it's a good week, bad week? Who are you going to be farming for the most this week? That is what I'm most interested to hear. Definitely let me know in the comments below who you guys are going to be farming for the most this week with the Weekly Loot Cave. I know that I was a little late. Again, we're going to be doing these every Tuesday. I just wanted to wait till these changes came in, and I was super addicted to playing Keelan and kind of coming out with that build guide. I just really wanted to play Keelan. He was a lot of fun. So I apologize for the lateness on this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give me a follow over at Twitch. We're going to be live daily. I would love to see you guys there. I'm also streaming on YouTube Live. If you see me live down below, click on it, say what's up. I would love to see you guys there. But I'm out of here, guys. Hope you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you're at. I'm out of here, though. Peace out. Goodbye.